What's going on, guys? This is Coolcrap567, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a complete overview of my kit. I've been running a setup similar to this for quite a while now, and this is going to be going over my helmet, plate carrier, battle belt, primary and secondary. So hopefully this video gives you guys a good sense of what I'm running. Maybe you guys could pick up a few ideas from it. Maybe you could run something similar yourself, but this is going to be a video going over what I'm running and sort of the mindset behind it, why pouches are placed in certain directions or certain spots and stuff like that. Alright guys, so this is my plate carrier. This is a Cry Precision CPC and multicam. I've owned 3 CPCs. I had one Coyote Brown and Ranger Green, and I finally came over and got the multicam version. I'm pretty happy with this purchase. I've had a lot of plate carriers and I've always switched back to the CPC just because of how much I like it, how comfortable it is, and kind of the features that it includes. This plate carrier has a harness, it's padded everywhere, it has EDOF cables if you ever need to ditch the plate carrier, and to me, I just feel like this plate carrier distributes the weight, and I really don't have a problem with it. Too many people say that it's a little bit bulky, but I really don't have that much of a problem with it. So I could still pretty much do everything I could with really some plate carrier like a JPC with this plate carrier. So that's why I like it, and that's why I decided to go back with the CPC. And I chose multicam this time because multicam kind of blends in with a lot of camos, and I don't know, I just really like the pattern. So going over to the mags, here I have 3 mags. This is the kangaroo pouch. I have some pull tabs right there. I swapped out the Cry Precision pull tabs for some SNS Precision pull tabs. So if I just want to draw a mag a little bit easier while retaining those mags, I can do that no problem. It's a little bit of a hassle to put mags back in. That's why I just generally use my dump pouch. Med shears just in case anything, in case you have to cut anything. Here I have a Magpul MS3 sling. I have it routed through the plate carrier. I feel like this is the most comfortable. I really don't feel too much of the weight on the gun, and I could always use the sling as a 1 point to a 2 point, but generally I just use it as a 1 point. Going over to here, I have an ATS 6x4 GP pouch in multicam. In here I just have some batteries, extra ski masks, whatever I need. I can fit a good chunk of items here in that GP. Here I have an Eagle Industries FB in multicam. This actually gives this has some pretty good retention to draw mags. I don't have to really worry about these falling out, and if I wanted just to be a little bit more secure, I could always just cover them and I know nothing's gonna happen to it. But it looks a little weird, so I don't really run it like that. Here I have a red tip cat tourniquet right there with a Blue Force Gear tourniquet now pouch, so if I ever needed to draw it, most likely I will never ever use this. This is just kind of more for looks, but just in case, I could always just draw it out pretty easy and use it. Alright, so going over to my back setup, this has also been my go-to choice. This is a Haley Strategic flat pack. I had one of these I had a Ranger Green one, but I picked up a multicam one. I really like this thing. There's different options out there, but I found this to be convenient for pretty much everything. There hasn't really been an item that I needed to carry that I wasn't able to actually fit in here. And this pack actually has a really neat feature where if this is too small for you, what you can do is you can actually expand this, and this thing triples in size. So what I like to do is I like to expand it, fit everything I need to in here, and then close it back up, and then everything's nice and snug. It's not going to rattle as much as it would be if you had it expanded. And this actually expands too. So if you just want to expand this size, you can do that. And this thing has 3 compartments. Right here there's one, right here there's another, and then you got your main compartment right here, which you would probably just use to fit whatever you needed to, water, supplies, of anything of that nature. And here's some Velcro if you wanted to put patches, call signs, whatever you want right there. So this is a multicam, and I really like the Haley Strategic flat packs. They're good for the price, and they're an amazing piece of kit. So going over to my primary weapon, this wouldn't be a correct Coolcrap video if I didn't use this table, so I'm going to just be going over my primary weapon. This is a Tokyo Marui recoil shock. This is their CQBR version, I believe, in black. This is an amazing gun. The hop up on this gun is good. The range on this gun is good. The trigger response is amazing because I installed a Spectre FET in there, and the hop up on this gun's amazing. I've only used this gun, I think, on a video for a couple of seconds. I posted this on Instagram, but not too many people on YouTube know that I picked this up. But I'm really happy with this gun, so I'm just going to be going over what I run on it. Alright, so starting off, here in the back, here I have the Tokyo Marui Voltor stock. It's in black. I'm not really too crazy about this stock, but it's a pain in the ass to swap out the stock because of how the battery system works, and in conjunction with the Spectre FET, the wiring needs to be redone on this gun. But I'll just keep the Voltor stock. It's not that bad, and I could put spare batteries for my night vision or whatever I need to in here. And I'm running 9.6 batteries on this. Here I have I think this is, I forgot the brand, but it's essentially a replica of the Magpul ASAP sling adapters for a recoil shock series. Standard A1 pistol grip. I did not decide to go with the magazines for the recoil shock because they're a little bit pricey, about 30 bucks here in the United States for only 82 rounds. To give you guys some idea of how much 82 rounds, this magazine is essentially 150. So that's 2 Tokyo Marui recoil shock magazines would equal into this, essentially. But with these mags, these are the PTS EPM mags, they fit good. I have the adapter in there. I just had to Velcro up the mag well so they fit in properly and they're not going to fall out of the gun. But you lose the bolt stop feature, which isn't too much of a pain because most guns that people are used to don't even have the bolt stop feature. It's nice to have, but just for that extra mag capacity, I decided to go with the EPM mags. Here I have a real EOTech 553 right there. I've been using the EOTech for quite some time now. You can't really get the 553s anymore. They're discontinued, so you have to kind of see when they pop up. But recently, a lot of people were trading in their EOTechs because some of them had problems with thermal drift, where if it was, I believe, minus 40 degrees and over 160 degrees, the reticle would shift. But I really don't experience those temperatures. Even if I would to leave this in my car, I wouldn't really lose my zero. So for the time being, within 100 feet, most likely that's when I'm going to use the EOTech. So I'm not going to return my EOTech. So I'm just going to keep the 553 because I like the look of it, and you can't really get the 553 anymore. So I'm going to just keep my EOTech. I really like it. I was going to swap it out for something aim point to kind of go with the look, but I'm fine with the EOTech 553. Alright, for the rail system, I decided to keep the Tokyo Marui quad rails. These are supposed to be CAC rails, but I just kept them. I like the look. I kind of wanted to go with the look of the gun, and the rails match that look. Here I have a GMP PEC 2 right there. I got an IR cover for the laser, so I could actually use this at night, so that's pretty nice. Replica Surefire pressure switch right there. This goes over to my real Surefire. Here I have a CAC 4 grip right there. And on this end, I decided to go with the Magpul PTS AAC. I was going to go with a cat grip, but the only cat grip I could find barely locks onto the flash hider. It falls off, and with this gun, it does have simulated recoil, so it tends to bounce around a little bit, and the flash hider kept coming off, so after like 5 shots, the flash hider would kind of unlock itself and fall off. So instead of me losing that suppressor, or just losing that mock suppressor, because it wasn't really going to do too much, I just decided to throw on a Magpul AAC. So going over to the other side, here I have a Magpul RSA. If I want to turn this gun from a 1-point sling to a 2-point sling, I could easily do that. Here I have a real Surefire X300 Ultra with a Haley Strategic offset mount. This flashlight is extremely bright. It's 600 lumens, I believe. I had a little bit of a problem where I would kind of wash out the EOTech. So if I'm not running the EOTech at a high setting, it sometimes could wash out. So if you're in a dark area and you kind of lower the brightness on your EOTech to a low setting, you might wash out your light. So that's just something you have to be aware of. So I just tend to run the EOTech on a high setting because of this light. And that's going to be it for my primary weapon right here. Alright, so moving over to my battle belt. Please just bear with me. This angle is going to be a little tricky to work with. But this is the Ronin Tactics shooter belt in multicam. It consists of 2 belts. It consists of an inner belt that you put in your... This goes where your traditional belts go, around your pants, in the belt loops. So you wrap that around, and it has Velcro on the outer edges. And then you have the outer belt right here. and essentially you just Velcro it over. Make sure that if you're running this belt, that you tighten everything, because this belt does tend to sag if you have a lot of stuff on it and if you don't have it tied down. So just make sure you tie it down, and you shouldn't have any problems with this belt. So going over right here, these are the mags that I'm running. I'm running two M4 reloads right here on my left side. These are going to be for my right side reload. This is actually a double S-Tac M4 mag pouch right there. And again, just running some regular mags. And then right here I have the S-Tac double, I think 9mm mag pouches. These things hold a variety of pistol magazines. These actually don't have the molly like these ones do, and I think that's actually better because most likely you'll never put anything on these, so the molly on that's kind of useless, and it, in my opinion, just looks a lot better without the molly on it. So again, just two magazines right there. Pretty good retention. I really don't have to worry about these things falling off or losing any of them. So just going over to my dump pouch setup, this was actually left over from my Ranger Green setup. Here I keep one magazine in here because when I play, I tend to just put the first bag that I'm using inside the dump pouch, and when I'm allowed to load the magazine, I just put it in there and I'm ready to go. And the CSM dump pouch is a pretty good dump pouch. If you want to make sure the mags don't fall out, you could actually tighten that, but I just tend to run it a little bit open because unless you're not doing anything crazy, the magazines aren't going to really fall. I've had a couple of times where magazines fell and I've noticed it, so as long as you're aware, you shouldn't really lose magazines. So going over to the right side of my belt, here I have an ATS vertical utility pouch. There's nothing in here right now. I generally don't run too much stuff in case of maybe using this for an extended period of time. I could put some batteries, some more supplies in there, and I really don't run too much in here. So that's just on basically if I need it, I'll throw some stuff into there. And it's kind of hard for me to get it. If anything, I could ask maybe a buddy to reach in there, maybe throw in some stuff for other players and whatnot. So going over my pistol setup, normally I didn't used to run a pistol. This is actually kind of something new for me. When I used to have a pistol, a lot of the times it would kind of get caught when I would draw it from the plate carrier, but I kind of fixed that problem, and this is how I'm running it. This is a Tokyo Marui 226 with a Safariland holster. This actually has the holder just in case. You gotta actually press this in with your thumb and move it forward, and then you can draw your pistol. I'm just gonna put that away for a second. But what I decided to do was to go with the Safariland UBL. This is the 1.5 inch drop. And that actually puts my pistol in a good spot where it doesn't get caught up on the CPC. Since the CPC has such a wide cummerbund, that's actually not going to get caught, and it's actually really easy to draw. So what I did was I installed that, I routed it through the belt, and I decided to use a strap system and wrap this around my leg. The straps, this is one of the Safariland straps, and these things are really comfortable. Alright, so going over to my helmet system, this is a new helmet for me. I picked this up actually a couple of days ago. I was running a OpsCore base jump. I had that for about 3 years now, so I decided I wanted to change it out, get something new, and I decided to go with a ballistic helmet. I went with the OpsCore Ballistic XP, that's what this is. The XP meaning that it just has a higher cut on the helmet, so you can put ear pro, contacts, whatever you want, more easy and more comfortable. But I decided to go with the OpsCore instead of something like the Cry airframe, because with the Cry airframe, if you buy the airframe, you're gonna have to buy rails, maybe a cover, Velcro, suspension system, strap system, pad system. There's so much that you have to buy on top of the price. So what I did was I just went with this OpsCore. I actually got it for a pretty good deal. I got it with the cover. The base color is multicam. Something I'm not too crazy about it. I would have preferred if it was tan, but the multicam will do. So I'm most likely just going to run it with the cover because I actually did want to purchase the cover, and it was just a bonus that this thing was included for the price. These covers normally run about 120 bucks, but I was able to get it included with the helmet, so that's pretty nice. Last thing on the helmet is I did get it with the Lux liner and with the worm dial. Compared to the traditional Octile, the Lux liner and the worm dial are a huge improvement compared to the Octile. The Octile was already starting to pinch me in the head. in the back of the head. It was pinching me there, and it was still comfortable. I mean, you could still run it for extended periods of time. The octile didn't unhinge itself. So don't let that discourage you, but the Lux Liner and the Worm Dial are just so much better. Start off with my night vision to get this out of the way, and then I'll go in about the helmet itself. If you see my last video about my night vision, around December I was running a single PVS 14, the Naruto's IMBG, and a Naruto's Dual Dovetail. Since then, I have picked up a second PVS 14 and an N-Vision Dual Advanced PVS 14 bridge mount. The PVS 14s themselves are ITT auto-gated Gen 3 tubes. So it's essentially dual tube Gen 3 night vision. So I'm pretty happy about that compared to just the single PVS 14. Also, I'm running 2 Mapbox Taser Eclipses. These are basically refocus rings. They have a aperture that you can tune. So if you want to allow less light in or more light in, you can simply just do that by just rotating it just like that. Also, these things work as a day filter, and I have Lexand right here, so if they do get shot, hopefully there's not going to be any damage to the PVS 14s or the Taser Eclipse itself. Okay. The last thing I did with the PVS 14s was I added Wilcox amber filters to the back of them. Essentially, I'm just running these as kind of a little bit of extra added protection. These kind of dim out that green backsplash near your eyes, and it kind of tints the color to a yellowish color. I really like the green color, and I think you probably pick up a little bit more of a better image with the green color and a brighter image. But some people complain that the green image kind of messes up their vision after using it for a little bit, but I don't really care about that. I could deal with the green color, no problem. But that's just to dim out what other people see, because sometimes people can pick up that green backsplash. My eyes aren't that good, so I probably couldn't, and I just have them again for added protection. The N-Vision Advanced PVS 14 mount, you can easily fold these things left and right, so when you have it stowed, you can tuck them away, and you're not going to necessarily feel as much of the weight as you normally would. So that's a pretty neat features with a bridge mount for 14s, because these things do get a little bit heavy, but if you have your counterweight set up, you're not going to really feel too much of the weight. You can actually extend these and tuck them in for a more convenient package. So I'm really liking this feature. I'm most likely going to keep the Naruto's IMBG for a little bit. If I can trade it for something like a Wilcox, maybe, I'll probably get rid of it. But for right now, the IMBG is going to do fine, just in case. I just use a single tube. I can just run these, and it's not going to be a problem. So for the time being, I'll keep the Naruto's IMBG, but if I can trade, I'll trade. Alright, so going over the helmet itself, I can show you guys what accessories I'm running, give you guys some of the features of the helmet with the night vision out of the way. Right here, I have an OpsCore shroud right here. It's metal, it's pretty beefy. The only thing that sucks is in order to get the cover off, you have to take off the shroud. So I'll probably just keep it on just to keep the helmet in good condition. And besides, the base color of the helmet is multicam. So if I take off the multicam cover, it's going to be multicam underneath. It's pretty nice. There's not too much play when you install like a night vision mount or a night vision arm. Compared to like the OpsCore base jump, which had a little bit of play on it and was molded into the helmet, so you couldn't really swap it out. With this, you could swap it out, do whatever you want with it. Here I have a Mohawk camera. These things are pretty new. Not too many people talking about these. I haven't been able to record any gameplay with it yet, so hopefully I could do that in the near future. It has a rotating lens, unlike the Contour. It actually records in low light, unlike the Contour, so it has a pretty good quality comparable to that of the GoPro. It only goes up to 1080p and 60 frames per second, so unlike a GoPro, you're not going to get any crazy good quality with this. But it's just meant to be able to record, to be rugged. It's supposed to be just Velcroed on, so you can put it either on the top or on the side, no problem. And you just got to press it firmly because it curves to the helmet. So everything is going to be basically centered around that. You're not going to be able to mount this on a gun or different mounts. It's basically Velcro on the helmet. So going over to the side, I'm just going to give you guys a quick profile of the OpsCore rails. I'm not running anything on the rails. I normally have a helmet light, but my Princeton Tech light got shot out, so I'm not going to be running that in the meantime. but this just gives you guys an idea of the helmet and how the XP cut is. So if you wanted to mount like an arc rail adapter for contacts, you can run that no problem. Here is some more Velcro with an IR square right there. I have another one right here, and with the obstacle cover, the Velcro comes up all the way around here and ends right there. Going over to the back, here is my strobe system. This is a Hellstar 5 with IR functions. Right now I have it, just so you guys can see that. It has 3 different features as blinking white and green, constant green, and IR only. Obviously you would need night vision to see that, so I just swap it back to green so I know it's off, just in case I don't want the battery to die on it. And lastly, this is what I'm using as my counterweight. This is an Insignia battery pack. This is just so if I need to charge my Mohawk, charge my phone, GoPro, whatever I need to charge, I can charge it right there while effectively using this as a counterweight. One last feature on the obstacle cover, which is pretty nice, actually 2 more features, are these little tabs to tie down whatever you need. I have to get my night vision tied down, but for right now I have the Mohawk tied down. And the last thing about the obstacle cover is the addition of something almost like bunny ears. If you don't know what bunny ears are, they're little loops that you put on the back of your helmet to tie down your goggles. This thing actually has a Velcro slot that you can open up, and you can mount your goggles and just close it back up, and your goggles are secure, almost like bunny ears. So that's a really neat feature that they added on the helmet. And then lastly, I just want to show you the inside of the helmet. I decided to go with the OpsCore Lux Liner. I think this is a huge upgrade over the traditional Oct dial. And then I went with the OpsCore Worm dial. You can get the Lux Liner without a dial in the back, but I decided that I'm really used to it. I like being able to secure my helmet firmly. You can do it with straps like this, but I just prefer a dial system on my helmet. That's just how I like it. Some people hate the Oct dial, some people hate the Team Wendy retention system, so it's just up to preference. That was my preference. Alright guys, so this has been my kit overview. I hope you guys enjoy. This is what I'm running. I'm not going for an impression. I'm not trying to emulate somebody else's style. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm running things that I find comfortable. I'm running items the way I like them. I'm not trying to go for anybody else's style, because I think everybody else should try to find a style that fits them. And that style might be my own. That might be somebody else's style. So it all just comes down to coming up with ideas, looking at new products, and seeing what else could work for you. If a setup like this could work for you, I encourage you to try it. You don't have to necessarily pick up the same items I do, but kind of run them the same way, put the same mindset behind it, like the GP pouch on the right, 4 mags on the left and in the middle, and stuff like that. So hopefully this has given you guys a good understanding of what I'm running. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. Any feedback, I would appreciate it, and thank you for watching.